Hello. This is the Poetic Perfectionist. I am your host, Sophia.
And I'm your other host, Abigail, but you can call me Abby for short. So
How's
what's
it
going on, girl?
going?
Living life, trying to do adult things. Adult things suck. Um, you know, I just found
Oh,
out that my PCP place is closing down recently. I just
oh,
pulled a 10-hour shift, so I'm kind of
oh,
spent. Yeah, good
I'm
times.
so sorry. So sorry. I was going to ask you how your Memorial Day weekend was.
Oh, I mean, it went well. It went very well. But at the same time, it was also like too much socializing and human interaction for me for a whole week.
That was a
Um,
lot for you.
yeah, that was a lot. I just feel like my social battery is kind of drained and just done for. I'm at the wave of catch me in 2 weeks, maybe,
She said, catch
possibly.
me in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Well, you know what? That was a lot. I can agree to that. I did a lot
Mm-hmm.
as well. Memorial Day weekend was pretty interesting. So it's supposed to be day one of my summer 2021. I'm gonna do everything on my list. Oh my gosh, can't nobody stop me. Can't nobody
Mm-hmm.
hold me back.
Except Mother Nature.
Yes, I didn't count for her.
Yeah.
Went to the beach Sunday, and girl, let me tell you something. First of all, my friend miscalculated or misread the temperature. So it was like 85, 90 degrees here, but in the
Mm.
Cape, it was like 70 at best.
Ooh, that's frigid.
I was like, girl, why ain't see no I mean, to be honest with you, I should have known because there was no traffic. That should have been the clue, the
Mm.
giveaway, the dead giveaway. There was no traffic, no matter where. On our way there, on our way back, on our way to the beach while we were there. No traffic. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Yeah, there's always
And
traffic once they keep on the nice weather. You kidding me?
mhm. So when we got to the beach, I think we only spent like about an hour max,
Mm-hmm.
and we would have stayed longer if it weren't for how windy it was.
Mm.
And so, the wind was picking up the sand and it was attacking us. When I say it was a violent assault, girl, the sand was so violent. I was just like, who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Mm.
All I did was sat my little happy black ass down and stayed to myself. I don't understand why I'm being violently abused in such a way.
I guess it just
But
wasn't
I
having it.
it wasn't having it. And then, there were like kids at the beach, but they weren't annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say there was this one group, this one little family, and they had this cutest little girl. And let me tell you something. She did not approve of coming out at all. She did not approve. She's like, I don't know why the hell we out here, Susan. Who the hell told you to wake me up from my nap and bring me out? It's ghetto out here. She's looking at her brother. I'm assuming we're her brothers.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking at them like they are the dumbest thing on the planet. She's looking at her mother like you are a disgrace.
Dang. Tell me how her looks
She's
really feel.
she's looking at her. I assume was her father. Like, who told you this was a good idea? So now all of a sudden you don't listen to Susan. Oh, okay. Remind me not to ever listen to you. You gonna follow me? You gonna lead me right off a cliff? That's the look she gave. She was not having it. And every time, like I said, I assume was the mother was trying to get her like get up from because they planted all their beach chairs, their lawn chairs, and they had the two little kiddie chairs for them. That little girl sat she sat her very happy behind in the adult chair and did not get up.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's over here like, you want to sit in the yellow chair? She's like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. No, I don't want
Oh,
to sit in that bullshit chair. You see how far it is away? First of all, it's too far from you. Why I gotta be all the way banished to? I'm too close to the ocean. I was like, if looks could kill, that little girl just assassinated the entire family.
wow.
She was done with all of them.
That
And
brutal,
then
huh?
by the time they were done setting, the adults were done setting up. Mom's like, okay, so mom wants to sit down in her chair, so she picks the, she gets the little girl to stand up. Little girl stands up. She's like, oh, fine. Stands up, looks at mom, and it's like, okay, you can sit in my lap. Mom walks right over her to dad. Looked at him like, if you were planning on getting up, don't sit your ass down.
Wow.
That little girl she was done. She was done with all of them. She was done with all of it, and she kept looking at them like, you stupid. It's cold out here. She had her sunglasses on. She had a jacket on. She was like, I ain't fucking around. I don't know why we out here. I did not approve of this. We have a pool at home. Why aren't we there?
Right?
I felt so bad. I felt so bad for the family. I'm like, that little girl. She don't like none of y'all.
Damn.
She don't like not one of y'all. If you just had to be there. You just had to be there. And it was funny too. But you just had to be there. And then there
It
was
sounds
another
like it.
couple. And then there was the couple that was like to the right of us. The husband pretty much was like, I'm a chill and I'm gonna eat my little breakfast sandwich, my little snacky snack.
Mm-hmm.
You're right, honey. Cool. And then took a nap. The wife was like trying to talk to him. He was like, I'm going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
She went on her little walk, came back. Brother was knocked.
No, but
So I mean, it wasn't. We made the most of it. We ended up going to Scargo Cafe. I don't know if you remember that place.
yes, a
We
little
ended
bit.
up we ended up having brunch there, which was pretty good. So we made the most of it. We went to a barn sale.
Ooh.
There was like, which I don't know why they called it a barn sale when it was really just all they sell were plants.
Oh.
Yeah, that threw me off a bit too.
Well, I feel like a lot of these uh like these garden centers or whatever, they'll have names like, I don't know, barn something or pottery something. Some weird thing. I don't know why. They'll
So
probably
yeah,
get it from
that
the
was
British.
probably. So we checked out some plants, and then we moseyed our way home. And she went home, and then I, of course, went home to change because you and I were meeting up for the comedy show, the
Mm-hmm.
Kev on Stage comedy show. Which, by the way, amazing. Loved
Mm-hmm.
it. Could
Mm-hmm.
not stop laughing.
I laughed so hard I almost peed my pants.
I could tell.
Thank goodness I was wearing my adult diapers.
I was. You were wearing adult diapers.
I'm serious. Listen, if I didn't go, that old man next to me definitely would have been the first. Had to check to make
Yeah.
sure. He was
I was like, yo,
slapping
you
his
good?
thighs, hitting his
I saw
wife a
that's.
little bit.
I saw that. I was like, is you gonna elbow your wife, sir?
I was like, you elbow her one more time, she's gonna elbow back. I don't want to get involved.
Right, and I can't help you. Okay, I'm at the end of the seat,
Mm-hmm.
and it took me a long time to get down those steps. So you just gonna have to take your beating.
In case of emergency, take that beating like a man.
Hmm. So, what'd you think of the show?
It was very good. A lot more entertaining than I thought. I was a little skeptical only because I've seen Kevin's content. They are funny. but there are some that doesn't really land with me. So I was a
Hmm.
little unsure of how it was gonna be. But everyone that was the opening act, the act in the middle just before Kevin, they were all really good, really really good. And I liked how they put a variety in there, like a representation for women and representation for men. And then even though he's the main act, it gives you like different perspective of things, like different
Yeah.
um stages of lives were being presented, different genders to deal with
Hmm.
that, different age group and gap of like where they are, you know, which worked out really well. And I liked every single one of the comedians. Like they all were really funny.
That's good. Well, I'm glad I got a chance to go see him live and in person. I think that was my first comedy show that I've been to.
And you even got a picture. You're welcome.
Oh, after you dragged me across the street on my bum ankle?
Either way, you're welcome. Your girl just made things happen for you, okay? This is what besties
Okay.
do.
I only pointed it out because I was like, oh, he's there. But I had no intention of getting a photo because of my ankle.
Well, like I said, you're welcome. I made shit things happen. Now it's gonna be in memory banks forever and ever. But put that shit on the Insta and be like, oh my gosh, Kevin, it was great seeing you.
Oh my
And
gosh,
post
okay.
the other comedian too. Josh was a lot shorter than I thought he was. It threw me off. But like I knew Kevin was a little taller, but I didn't think he was that tall. He just seemed taller next to Josh. Because then I seen him, and then I seen Josh, and I was like, wait a minute. He seemed regular and a little taller than me before, which he was. But when
I think
Kevin
it's
was
because
next to
you're
him,
used to seeing them
he
in a
was
TV
shorter.
screen.
I'm just,
Everybody is
I,
different through
I'm
the
just,
TV.
I'm just saying. Okay, it's not common
They
or
seemed
average that I see a man that's like either my height or just a little taller. They tend to all like I normally am used to like I'm creaking my neck up to look at most people. Forget man or not, just most people. And I just felt that Kevin was a lot taller than I thought he was gonna be. Like I thought he was gonna be like, average. The way I felt I had to crick my neck to kind of look at him a little bit, he was hitting close to that 6 feet, if not there already.
well, if you had watched those clips like I told you to, you would have been prepared.
Listen, you tell me
But
to do a lot
now
of things. You tell me to do a
you
lot of
never
things,
listen
and
to me.
I am busy. Okay, it's tough trying to fit things in. And you know what? You're right. I'm not gonna even make excuses. God bless you.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna even make excuses. At the end of the day, it's like my mental state. Once I have just tapped out in regards to socializing, in regards to doing all these errands and adulting things, it's just done. The only thing that it has the energy and stuff to do is just to watch my videos, read my little, comic books and such. That's it. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do to unwind. Nothing else. Number more. Watch my little videos. Go to the whirlpool of just all these Instagram videos and
The IG,
YouTube.
YouTube, black hole.
Exactly. That's all I have the time for. I'll scroll and look at it for a little bit, a couple hours, and then it's just like, it's time for bed, and that's it. I'm done for the day. And you blink
What
before
a
you know it, the
routine.
whole day goes by.
What a routine.
Yeah. I mean, it works great when you don't have that many friends.
You,
It's
the
about the
social
quality.
butterfly that you are.
It's about the quality, not the quantity. Yeah, listen, I can still be a social butterfly. I just, it's easier to do when you can return to sender. Just
Uh-oh. Return to sender. My
yes,
goodness.
as in I show up and then I return my behind back home where I belong.
She's like, I'm gonna head up then.
Yeah, seriously. I have a
Ah,
proper bedtime By 8:30, 9:30, the latest, I'm already making my way
Which
most yawn
to
down the
this
Tracy
day,
Trail.
I have yet to see. I have yet to hear from you about you actually making it to your bedtime. Like, do you mean like in bed
Oh
by
yeah.
that time or actually sleeping?
No, in bed. My actual sleeping is like 10:30, 10:45, and that's not like by choice. It's no. That's when my body is literally gonna be like, night, night.
I don't know. There have been a couple times where 2 o'clock in the morning, my
Oh,
phone is dinging.
those are the times where it's like,
Real, real. She
I've
liked the
gone to
real.
bed.
She sent the real. I
Hmm.
was like, oh God, if this girl doesn't go to bed.
No, those are the times where it's like I probably went to bed early, so that my body's like, all right, we're wide awake, and I was like, it has to be at 2 o'clock in the morning. So that I'm like, let me scroll for a little bit, which I do, which I know is not that good. I shouldn't do
It's
it.
not. It's not
But
healthy for
then,
you.
but then after like maybe half an hour of that, I start getting tired again. So I like, all right, put it to the side and then go back to bed because it doesn't always happen.
I don't know how you do it with your sleep schedule.
It's a good session. I don't know how I do it either. And then my body be having the audacity, the unmitigated gall to still try to get me up at 5:30 before my 6:30 like alarm. And I'm like, can you just not be a jerk today and let me sleep in? I took
No.
all of my alarms off for a reason. Why are you doing this to me?
She said I took it all off for a reason.
Nope, I
You
don't care.
poor thing. Well, hey, at least Nico wasn't the one that was waking you up at 5:30 in the morning. Eh.
Oh, he's no better. As soon as he hears
Oh,
a slight movement of my bed, he thinks he does. He's like, "Oh, she's awake!" Meow, meow. I was like, "Please stop it."
I tried. I really did. I tried.
It's not you. That's just how the cookie crumbles.
Is it though?
That's what
Is
I'm
it
saying.
really?
I don't know what you want me to say.
You think he learned his lesson by now?
No. At this rate, I think I'm just gonna take him to the vet and get him fixed.
Oh, he's not fixed?
Nope.
You never had him fixed?
No.
You mean to tell me that your cat has been roaming these streets? Potentially, he could be having a bunch of outside babies out there that you don't know about.
I doubt that. I think every time he tries to look at somebody else's girlfriend, he comes back with an injury.
You don't know. Maybe that's part of maybe that's his fetish.
I think we both have come to the conclusion he's not made for outside.
That cat is something else. Well, Nico, as usual, I'm over here rooting for you.
Mm, mm, mm.
Hopefully, you live to see another day. Not pissing nobody off. Not getting on nobody's nerves. Well, aside from your exciting, I should say, weekend scheduled, did you do anything else fun?
Uh, I went to a barbecue.
Ooh.
That was fun. And then I met
Were
my
you able to eat
boyfriend's.
any of the food?
No, but my boyfriend was smart enough to um make me some homemade burgers that he seasoned and we brought to the party. He just grilled it for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That was very kind of him. Or else he
Oh
would have
yeah.
starved.
Oh no. Me not eating? Oh, you won't like me when I'm hangry. I ate beforehand. And I met his
Oh,
mother for the first time yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, on
oh.
Monday. So I was formally introduced.
How was it?
It was a little nerve wracking. She was very nice, but it was nerve wracking. You know me and my brain, the overthinking, the over processing.
I'm
Everything
surprised you
is
didn't
just
ask.
like
I'm
10
surprised.
10.
I'm surprised you didn't ask her to give you like a full report on our meeting. Okay, now that we've met, I'd like you to produce a 6-page full detailed report on our meeting and what I could do to improve.
Very funny. But speaking of which, I did tell him that, and he's already given me some tidbits. So there.
Why am I not surprised?
Leave me alone. Okay.
Why am I not surprised?
I want to make a good impression, of course, you know.
What is it about meeting the families that just makes people so nervous?
Well, my thing is like at the end of the day, well, it's not always all the family. It's always like the people that they've made it very clear is like important to them.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's like then it's like okay, this person has like a huge influence in their life type of thing. They really care about this person. They care about this person's opinion. While they would like if there's someone who's like if they're perfectly fine with setting boundaries and so on and so forth, they have no issues setting boundaries with these said people. But because this particular person is um very important to them and plays a huge role in their life, then of course whatever that person says, they're going to take that into consideration. In that sense,
Mm.
you also want to be, you know, of course, put your best foot forward when you're meeting this person, because then it's just like, you know, this person, you having a good rapport with this person also means like moving forward, future of things is even better for you. So,
Uh,
yeah.
I guess I'm built a little bit different because no one else's opinion trumps mine. So if you're meeting anybody on my side, which by the way, if I could hide my significant other for the rest of my life, I would. I
Um,
probably would. You
I mean,
know, you don't need nobody else's opinion about you but my own. That's it. That's all.
yeah,
You're
but
welcome.
now they're gonna feel like there's some sort of like dirty little secret. No one likes to feel like there's some sort of dirty secret that you don't wanna to tell or share with the world. I mean, I'm not saying like well, I'd like to think not everybody wants to be like, oh, post me on social media, let the world know, blah blah blah, who's in your life type of thing. But at least your inner circle knows this person exists, and vice versa. Not like you don't talk about anything, you don't talk about your family, you don't talk about your close friends, you don't talk about any of these people to this significant other, and you don't talk about this significant other to any of your people in your close circle, then that's just it's kind of
A
solid,
problem.
it's
She's like,
solid.
I guess for me, I operate like because I've seen it, or I've been on the side where like they just bring anybody home, and it's just like a
Oh.
revolving door. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, so you want me to remember their name because they're not going to be here next week. So I don't even want to do that. And B, what are you do? What does that say about them? To what does that say about them to us, and what does that say about us to you? You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't even value us enough, just a little bit. I'm not saying take all of us into consideration, whoever your trusted, your loving circle is, whoever is in that circle.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'm not about to roll up just any old fool into the circle and be like, all right, this is it. Like, I can't even do like the trial run where it's like, oh, I'm gonna test you out with my friend. No, 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 no. My circle is my circle. You can hear about them.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear, and if he's serious enough, if he's worthy enough, I will talk to y'all about him. But as far
Wow.
as meeting, listen, you know how long it took you to come over to my house? That's
Yo, and the thing about it is too, okay, the thing about it is too, it was just so well crafted that it's like she done create this whole scenario of things and does it in such a way that it doesn't even hit you till like 2 years later, like, well, damn, I have never set foot in your house. How in the world did you manage that? She was just like, oh, it's okay. this whole act of like, let me build the group activities, let me plan all that stuff, and everybody's out here just so grateful they don't have to do it. Out here not even noticing the way the spell that she be weaving and the things that she be doing, and be like, nah, she never out here. You got like a 3-year minimum solid before she allows you even on her doorstep, let alone passing the threshold within her home.
I'm pretty sure there are
Crazy.
a good chunk. I'm pretty sure there are a good chunk of people out there that think I'm an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't know
Orphan
nothing.
Annie.
There was a guy that I dated. He was like, I don't know nothing about your family, and you never will.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I just don't. It's not. It's, and you would think that it's because I am ashamed of my side and like I'm embarrassed. Nope, has nothing to do with that. Has everything to do with I'm trying to figure out a way to introduce you to my circle. Listen, my circle's not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to filter themselves. They're not going to dumb themselves down. They're not going to apologize for nothing. So I need to know that you have the self-esteem built like Fort Knox to withstand what you're about to walk into. Because if you're looking at me to come save you, to cover you, sir, friend, I know it's sink or swim. It's sink or swim.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle it? How do you, with all of these personalities, with all of these opinions, some better than others, what do you do? How do you handle it? And low key, I think my friends are a lot worse than my family. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how you manage that.
I think my friends are a lot tougher. Well, not tougher, but I think their words might hurt a little bit more than my family because I know what to expect with my family, and I can't change them, and so I've accepted them and all of their flaws, and I'm in all of their ways. My friends, on the other hand, make me a little bit nervous, only because y'all will take my feelings into consideration and will be like, there's something that she sees in this person. We don't know what it is. We may never know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lord spoke to me and said, my child, I know what it is. Therefore, all you need to do is say one nice thing about him.
Mm-hmm. It'd be like Donkey and Shrek. I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder. Mm-hmm. Listen,
So
if you
I
can't
think for
find
me,
anything on his person, okay, you can't find nothing about the personality, the person themselves. Find something that's on him. That's a nice shirt. I
and
like
it's
them
not
shoes.
and it's not to say that I've bought anyone around where it's just like they would be so problematic, because I'd like to think that I've vetted them enough to the point where it's like, okay, I know I can bring you around. Have I bought
Mm,
anyone around you yet?
nope.
That means I sent out the sink or swim test and they all failed. They
Damn,
drowned.
girl.
It
That's
drowned.
well, that's kind of sad.
It is kind of sad. But also in addition to that, listen, I need you to understand that my friends and their significant others are my. That means when we break up, they come with me. You don't
Okay.
get to do the whole,
Yep.
oh, but we had such a great rapport. Yes, but their loyalty is to me.
Mm-hmm.
In this divorce, I win. So there will be no, well, I still talk. A breakup is a breakup. You break up with everybody.
Break up with everyone.
You break up with everybody.
He just took everything, not even half. We're not gonna separate no friends. There's no visitation rights. There's my friends that I brought in come with me, and your
Hmm.
dinky little friends go with you.
You keep your little 2, 3, whatever over there, and I bring my posse, my entourage with me.
You know the crazy thing is like I've heard of like some relationship where it's like they get into it and either the husband ends up actually liking the wife's friends
Yeah.
better than his own, or if he didn't have good friends to begin with, they were just fillers. He ends up just spending more of the
Mm.
time with them, and then before you know it, it's like these filler friends just kind of drop off and disappear.
I'm fortunate enough to say, and knock on wood, I've been the one where the spouses or the boyfriends, they're like, "Oh, she's good people's," and they in turn, obviously they were right. I is good people's,
Mm-hmm.
and I have also, let the original friend know. Listen, you have chosen a proper spouse. That means I don't gotta hear about breakups, divorce. Like, I know that's not gonna happen ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, I
She's
mean,
like,
if you're not childish about it and you take this seriously, especially if it's a marriage, and you're not just gonna be out here operate on my feelings like, oh, I just don't feel loved. I don't feel appreciated. But then it's just like you're only in your feelings today. Every other day, the spouse is doing all this other thing, going above and beyond. One day they didn't do something, all of a sudden you take that one day and you're trying to throw all these years out the
I would
window.
like to I would like to think that I've made it very known that, okay, even if you get to the point where you feel like you've fallen out of love, don't fall out of love at the same time.
Right? Because there always has to be someone that's still together to fight for it, to keep the things going.
Because at the end of the day, this is about me, and I don't have the energy to get to know a new person.
Right?
And if you think about it, you got to get to know a new person. You got to go through the loss of a breakup.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're crying about the breakup. They're depressed
Mm-hmm.
about the breakup.
Mm-hmm.
They're reminiscing on what it was. And now you have to
Mm-hmm.
pretend to hate the other person if you're that type of friend. Well, they weren't
Mm-hmm.
that good anyway. Da, da, da. You got to basically lie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you got to go through all the motions. And then you got to put them back out there. Well, they got to get back out there in the dating game. And, the dating pool's already piss poor anyway. They got to go
Mm-hmm.
through all of that. That's like 10 years of my life I can't get back.
Yep.
Listen, what's wrong with this person now? What's wrong
And
with them?
and the
Let's
thing
go to
is,
therapy.
people
Let's
forget
pray together.
too. People also forget too that the older you get, the worse the pool gets. It doesn't get any better. If it was trashy and ghetto when you left it, guess what?
It's trashier and more ghetto when you get back in it
Exactly. It
because
hasn't gotten better.
your qualifications have changed. What was
Mm-hmm.
important to you then has changed.
Yep. You
So
don't
maybe
like
just
the
a
same
cute
thing
face.
anymore.
Yeah, maybe just a cute face used to be enough for you. Now it's like, nah, I need him to have a brain,
He needs to have a brain, a job, and not just any job, a good, high
a
quality paying
good
job. Because
job.
because remember, you're no longer the same age as you were when you were looking in the pool. Okay, you're not at that age where it's like forgivable if you're still kind of like the meager beginning stage and you're hustling and working your way up. So you have a nice little nest egg. You have, so you can be able to work towards the goal of getting a house. By the next stage, it's like you better have the house. You better have
You
like
all
adult
hustled
things
out.
like, yeah,
You hustled out.
401k,
Hmm. Now you're looking at
retirement
the next phase.
funds.
Now you want to be on easy street.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame them. Obviously, there are situations. Each situation is on a case by case.
Mm-hmm.
Some relationships just can't be salvaged, unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it. But for the most part, I'm like, listen, it's piss poor out here. Okay, it's piss poor
Mm-hmm.
out here. Listen, I'm no relationship guru, and I'll never claim to be one ever. I can't even solve my own dating issues. Would I look like guruing somebody else's?
That's
But
tough.
what I will say, it's not easy.
Nope.
So if you're trying to jump back into the singles game, with the intention of, listen, I've worked on myself and da da da. You did all those necessary things, and now you're looking for a partner. Ah, I wish you luck. I would not wish this on my worst enemy.
Yeah, it's like
It's not. It's
I
tough. It is tough.
I will say though, I've thanked the Lord that the few times that I had to be in the pool was like not that long. Granted, I never made an attempt to even get in the pool for 24 plus years.
You were clubbed over the head.
Yeah, basically. And then from that, when I did actually try to step into the pool, I only got like 1 foot in or a couple of toes, and I was like, taken right back out. Like, oh,
Hmm.
this is not for you. This is ghetto in there. Ghetto.
You were probably thinking to yourself, it can't be that bad. But
Oh, it was
again,
bad. You know what's bad when you almost get kidnapped.
explain that to me again.
Girl, every time I think about that story, I don't even know. I don't even know.
I
It's like
don't even know
I need
either.
I need to start writing a book. We need to start doing some sort of like dates from hell podcast or something because it's just horrible. Like it's horrible.
I did
I
it
only
so you
had a
didn't have to.
taste. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a good title. We should write that down. Write that down.
We should make that a segment. I did it so you didn't have to.
Seriously, it's my thing is like I really do have a huge respect for these women that's like still going through it and dealing with these apps and such because it is just ghetto. It is so ghetto. And the crop of the thing about it is too that's also very frustrating is you would think because a majority of these apps appears, especially some of them, I don't know which ones, I can't recall, but especially since some of these apps seems as if it's like a huge, you know, uh option of male festival situation going on where there's like all these men and you're thinking, oh, there's option this and the third. By the time you start getting into like criterias, the availability dwindled down so fast. And I mean so fast. You put something in there like has a stable, responsible job. That's more than 50% already gone on that list. Okay? Because you got
Oh.
these ones that's on there that's throwing words like entrepreneur around that think that just make them sound better. That'll elevate the I'm surfing my friend's couch at the moment.
Aww. Oh no. That's terrible.
Oh, it's bad. Not to mention false identity, and I do mean that in every sense of the word. False identity,
That's
like presenting themselves as being something and their license is just not matching up.
or they're you ever heard a phrase, you meet the representative before you meet the person first?
Mm,
So you're presented with one person or one side, and then give it some time, because you can only run with this charade long enough. And next thing you know, you get Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And it's tough. And I like to think, despite my hang-ups, I'd like to think there are still good ones out there. Because if you're roaming the street and I'm roaming the street, there's still hope. There's
hmm
still hope. It just seems like there are more problematic
hmm
individuals out there, as opposed to just like, what, there's just a good person just trying to make it,
They just
trying
the
to enjoy
thing.
life.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. I just feel like a majority of these men are just like are lazy. Like they want the women to do the chasing. They want the women to do all the work. At the same time, they want them to share all the bills and such 50-50. They don't want to pay for the dates anymore, even though they're the ones that's asking you out. Or they don't even want to ask anymore because they know if they ask out, then, per courtesy and decorum and some home training, if you ask a lady out to dinner or
Hmm.
lunch or whatever the situation, you pay.
Well, here's the
Now
devil's
they're getting
advocate.
to the clever and being, oh, well, I didn't ask you out. You asked me. So therefore, you need to pay. Not even like 50-50 anymore.
Just the whole
They're
date.
not looking at you straight in the eyes and saying, you asked me and expecting you to pay for the whole bill. Like,
Oh
this is
no.
okay.
Well, here's me playing devil's advocate, right? What about those that feel comfortable that way? Where it's like splitting 50-50 isn't a problem with them. I said splitting 50-50. I know you're not one of those people.
Nope. Absolutely not.
Okay, maybe I asked the wrong person.
I mean, my thing is like, I
but,
don't get
but
me
think about
wrong.
it.
50-50 with my friends, 50-50, family member, 50-50 with, if we have the agreement, this is what we had talked about, then it's like, okay, it makes sense. But my thing is like, you found me,
Oh,
you asked me out,
oh,
okay? And it's not like you're going to this dinner or whatever you decide to do that because ideally, if you stepped up as a man and stuff and you planned everything, then ideally you should be going to a place that your wallet can afford. That's the whole point of taking control, of being the one that's just like, babe, don't even worry about it. I'll plan everything and get it.
so what if he
Oh,
took you to Arby's?
oh hell no.
Oh, okay. but what if that's all his wallet can afford?
The peasantry.
Oh,
Listen,
okay.
listen. If we're going to if Arby's is all you can afford, I much rather that we just go to a grocery store. We buy ingredients and
and we
either
cook the
he
meal
and we
ourselves.
cook the meal ourselves. Yeah, because that will be 100%, 10 times better than whatever you would get at Arby's.
Okay, so what you would prefer in this instance, if you were single, which you are not,
Hmm.
but if you were, you would prefer. It sounds like y- during that whole process, when in the first introductory stage, I would like to call it the introductory stage,
Hmm.
he's getting to know you and what your likes and dislikes are, just like you're getting to know what his likes and dislikes are.
Hmm.
Therefore, he could plan the date to your liking. That way, he could ask you out and take you to, let's say, Eddie V's,
Hmm.
and you're not surprised. Whereas if he plans a date and takes you to TGI Fridays, you will just look at him like, so you have not been listening. So is it
Yep.
more so, it's not so much so where he's taking you, but like, did you even hear a word that I said?
Part of it is that, and then the other part is like, if that is truly all you can afford and such, because my thing is this, right? If you've curated or you've put, a decent amount, it cannot be like if you may not have written a lot of stuff on your profile, but the pictures themselves is giving you some sort of message.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think that, for most of the profiles and stuff, especially for the women, you're not going to their profile, a majority of them, and just thinking like, ah, yeah, this girl frequents TGI Fridays and such. Based on the pictures, like, you're not gonna see a picture where they're like, at this maybe a high class restaurant or at some destination place in some other country that they're gonna be like, oh yeah, for sure. These fast food places is where she frequents.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like, it's not just, it's if that's truly all that can afford, that's one thing. But my thing is like, I just feel like it's a little insulting based on what was said on the profile, the pictures that were presented, and the conversation that we have, for you then to take all of that and then be like, yes, this is the place that she'll like. TGI's is where she wants to go. She'll frequent. No.
So I guess my thing is, okay, so you are very much, you ask me out, you pay for this date.
Yes.
And I make no qualms about it. You're
My
not
thing
gonna
is,
guilt trip me.
nope.
You're not gonna gaslight me. You're not gonna bully me into
Nope.
thinking otherwise. I
Well,
said what I said,
yep.
and that's that.
Well, to be honest, too, I'm also prepared to pay for my half of the meal at any moment.
Okay, then. Because I've had hard horror stories where it's like the person goes in and they're expecting one thing, they get the other, or they're expecting one thing, they get the other, and she's not impressed, and therefore, well, you know what? 50-50, or that's it. There's split checks. Both checks show up, and then the girl's just like, I didn't bring no cash for this. It's like, you can't do that. I think
Nope.
for I think for me where my hang up is, and I can see, I would, of course, if I'm asked out and we're going to a place that I would like, whether it's I've been there for the first time or this is like my 18th time being there, yes, it is nice that he picks up the tab. However, I do go in with the expectation that I'm covering my half because unfortunately in this day and age, I feel like for the most part, you don't show up to these types of dates. I feel like you don't show up to a date empty handed.
Nope.
It's almost like not empty handed in a sense where it's like, well, if you don't pay for the date, you don't pay for the date. It's more like if I pay my half, you can't dangle it over my head.
Hmm.
Like it's not something that's like, okay, now I owe you for something.
Oh yeah,
And I
no.
feel like what I've heard back, and
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely gotten that to myself, where it's like if he pays, it's like, all right, I paid for this date. Congratulations, you paid for this date. Thank you. And that's not the thank you that they're getting. So now they're expecting something, and you're just sitting there like, I never gave you that impression whatsoever. I made it very clear, but because I pay for the date,
Listen, at
so
the
I
end of the
think
day, I'm not out here going to be negotiating with anyone who thinks that it's okay to equivalent that to
equate.
equate exactly. Thank you. Access to my body to a $50 meal. That's what we're not about to do. I don't negotiate with terrorists, and that's what they
I knew
are.
you were gonna say it. I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it.
What else would you call them? Terrorists. Okay, creating terror with their lack of home training, decorum, and self-respect.
She said terror. I don't negotiate with terrorists. No, not on this land, this soil of ours.
Nope.
And I completely understand. But what I'm just saying is, for some women, that is, I think that is what the dilemma that they're coming into. They're coming in with that in the back of their mind. Listen, I came with my wallet.
Mm-hmm.
I can afford to pay for my half, and you will not dangle this over my head like some carrot, like I owe you, like it's a
Mm-hmm.
barter system. Okay,
Yep.
Uncle Sam has asked for less.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that particular, and I can also understand where that 50-50 mentality does come from, because it's like you almost want to inadvertently prove that you can handle it yourself and that
Mm-hmm.
you come, I know you're going to hate this, I know you hate this phrase, bring something to the table
I
that isn't
roll.
problematic.
Side eye.
I know you hate that phrase. Just like I hate the word potential, you hate that phrase.
I will say though, I have had horrible dates in the past where I've paid, and it's not like I went on one date one time and the bill came out. He said to me without skipping a beat, I will be paying this amount of the bill, this amount only.
Like it wasn't even 50-50? Like a 50-50 split?
It wasn't a 50-50 split. It was like a 80-20, 80-30,
And
I
he
mean.
paid 80
Yeah.
and he paid 70-30. So he paid 70
Yeah, sorry, 70-30, yeah.
and
Oh,
you
wait, I
paid the
had it
30.
right. 80-20. I had it right. 80-20.
Oh, so he paid 80% and you paid the
Yeah.
remaining 20?
The remaining 20, yeah.
Why didn't you just pick up the whole bill?
No
If you're paying
idea.
80%, why don't you just pick up the whole bill? Okay,
No idea.
never mind.
Well, I think
I'm asking questions.
I think it was also, well, this for this particular person was like, oh well, as they one do. Oh, my love language is touch and blah blah blah, and I don't understand and blah blah blah. This, I was like, these are COVID times. This mask is saying on, sir.
Oh
This
my God, is
mask
this
is
the date
saying
from
on.
hell?
No, that was the date, I think, before Date from Hell.
Okay. Ooh, child.
Yep.
That one is even I was perplexed. I've had I've had good dates. I've had okay dates. And I've had bad dates, but that one right there.
That Date from Hell will haunt me for the rest of my life. I will be passing this story down to my grandchildren of what not to do
I will tell you
or
that was
things to look out
probably
for a
the
kidnapper.
most that was the most confusing date that I had to hear. First of all, anytime any of my friends goes on dates and they call, like you tell me the start time of your date is 8 o'clock and 8:05 you're calling me, is not a good sign. It's never a good sign. And it's always when I'm watching a movie. Y'all always call when I'm just about to watch a movie.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. It was not my fault. Okay, I did not expect to be on the phone with you for damn near an hour and my phone to actually have to whip out my portable charger because I've been on the phone so long with you.
I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, he gonna be here in 20 minutes and we gonna kiki it up and wrap it up and then, she'll text me here and there and then she'll let me know that she's home and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
That's not what happened.
No, we on a date a whole hour. I felt like we were on a date. I should have bought you dinner.
Seriously. I was there so long, shift changed. There should be no reason shift changing and the date hasn't even gotten there yet. The only reason why I stayed was because it was my favorite place. I was determined either way. If he showed up, didn't show up, I was gonna have dinner. I already saw. By the time half, like 20 minutes, 25 minutes had gone by and we were approaching half an hour, I had already ordered drink, myself an appetizer while I waited. I
I
was
heard you. You was
already
smacking on them appetizers.
I was already 3 Prosecco's in by the time he showed up.
Not 3 Prosecco's. Not 3 Prosecco's.
Yes, yes. Me taking it light.
Oh.
Real light.
Oh. I will say when I try to explain the date, so I don't know if you want to go into detail or rough detail, but for the most part, it's just all you need to know, people, was that showed up late,
Mm-hmm.
about an hour, um, claimed that he was lost or had trouble finding the location, even though the sign on the restaurant, and I don't know what restaurant she's talking about, the sign is like giant orange. You can't
Mm-hmm.
miss it.
Yep.
You cannot miss it.
Mm-hmm.
You could close your eyes and still be able to walk to that place just fine. Um, Weirdo pop up from a friend, coworker. I don't know.
Yep.
It was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a lot. It was just a lot.
Yeah. He was late, claimed to be lost, but found out at the end of the night that this man was parked facing the restaurant and was only
Oh
two
yeah.
cars away from me. And I was
Oh,
parked
I
in
forgot
front
about
of the
that.
restaurant. How do you get lost and you're parked in front of the restaurant? And then his co-worker slash friend just mysteriously just happens to coincidentally show up at the restaurant. Mind you, he is with nobody there. He's there by himself. Unless if he worked at one of the stores in the area, there was no reason why he's just popping in coincidentally at the same exact location where our restaurant is. And this so-called friend or this date tried to invite his friend at the table while we was having dinner.
Oh girl, no.
He tried to say, "Oh well, if I wasn't having a date, I would invite you." Blah blah blah. And I'm looking at him. I was like, "Sir, I'm about 30 seconds away from picking up my bag and all my things and leaving. If I did
Not
not
I
just
would
put it,
invite you.
if I did not just put in an order for my dinner, I would be backing up my stuff and leaving,
Oh
paying the check up
no.
front. Please forward my check to the front because I will pay at the bar.
Oh
I
Lord.
will move and go to the bar and have my meal because that's what we're not doing. Go to leave in the middle of the night. By then, the whole restaurant is closed. Everybody cleared out. We're basically the only one left. We're
Mm-hmm.
leaving for the middle of the night. Mind you, I made it very clear. There will be no kiss. There will be no anything. This man tried to lead him for a kiss. The good Lord Jesus said, "My child, put that mask on before you leave the restaurant." And sure enough, I did. That's what saved my life from a potential bad breath or not coming towards me hot and heavy. Trying to lean in for a kiss. Like, sir, excuse me. You were late. Okay? You were late. You were lost. You were barely dressed appropriately for this event. And you have the nerve, the
What was he
audacity, the
wearing?
unmitigated gall to think you could just lean it. He was fine. It was just like a head to toe black. It's just simple, like you really can't mess it up. Head to toe
Okay.
black situation. And then he had this sort of trying to be a sort of artistic, when you go in the poetry slam kind
Yeah.
of decor esque vibe that people think that when poetry slam is supposed to look like, he had that type of get up on.
Oh.
Hmm. 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 Yep, yep, yep,
Okay.
yep, yep,
Well, bless his heart.
yep. Listen, anything more to say about that date would be left another. There's just too much to say that went wrong that night.
Well, I will say that trumped my rapper date.
Ah, good.
He had to. I had to have been in like my early to mid 20s. I feel like, and he had to have been like in his late. I'm gonna be generous and say late 30s,
Mm-hmm.
even though I think he was older. But he definitely gave me an age of late 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Now I show up, very nice guy. Until he got to the part he was like, you know what I mean? I'm following my passion. You know what I'm saying? I always run when they use the word passion, when they use the phrase in between gigs. Yeah, anything that kind of insinuates unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know where my life goal is at this point. Not sure. Granted, everybody, life hits everybody differently. So,
Mm-hmm.
you got to, I like to treat it as a case by case basis.
Yep,
I said,
as
you
it
know
should
what?
be.
What's going on back here?
Yes, you could be
From what
jobless
I
at the
gather,
moment. Making moves.
Yeah, from what I understood, he got let go from his job,
Ooh.
which was tough. But everything's gonna be all right because he was gonna be a rapper. It's gonna be the next Jay Z.
Uh,
Yep.
yeah, about that.
And you would think I would have like the reaction of, oh no, oh no, 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 not me. I have since, accepted and discovered and accepted this about myself. When the situation is as ridiculous as that, what do? I ask questions. Like a crazy, those crazy moon bloods in those movies. They walk towards danger after they hear the noise. They just continue to walk towards it.
I can't deal.
That's me walking towards it. What do I do? My dumbass asks, well, you know what? Let me hear a little. Let me hear what you've been working on. Ooh,
Oh
child.
no! Oh no!
Ooh. I pray for that man. Till this day, I pray for that man.
As you should.
It was not good. It was not
As you
good.
should. As
It
you
was
should.
not good. Me and my busted ears were like, nope, this ain't it, sir. Hmm. We're gonna. You can write. You can put sentences together. You know how to play the piano? We're gonna have to find something else for you
Snaps
because
and
that right
claps.
there ain't
Snaps and
it. I'm
claps.
saying clap.
Snaps and claps. Snaps and claps.
Yeah,
Crazy.
that was something. It was a learning experience. I walk away from these moments and I just think it's a learning experience. Anytime I could walk away with a good story, it's a good story. Like,
You're right. We could pass it around amongst the friend circle and discuss of what not to do and what to beware of. You have any tidbits that you want to tell our listeners from your experience, your learning experience?
I guess from the little advice that I could give you is hang in there, folks. Hang in there. That's all I can give you. Hang in there. Okay.
Well, no, that's
Trust
okay.
me, it will get better. I don't know when, but you can only go up from here.
I hope so. Because there's some
I know
rock
that
bottoms
doesn't.
that you've hit that you didn't even think it was possible to hit. I didn't even think these
And I know
bottoms
that does.
existed.
I know it doesn't sound convincing from coming from me right now, but trust me, you can only go up from here.
I
Listen,
hope
I
so.
have this thing now. Every so often, I check out the dating pool. All right, because I've been told that it changes every 6 months.
Really?
I mean, that's what they say. I mean, I don't see the difference, but that's what they say. I
Okay.
look, I look around, and if it's okay, then I continue to stay in it. The slightest issue or whatever, I dip out. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
if it ain't meant for me, it ain't meant for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay with that. Any tidbit you want to leave the people?
Uh, if he wants you to go by a name that is not what he have written on his profile, run. Run for the hills. Run from the state. Run from the town. Block him immediately. Is all I can say. My little tidbit.
I'm gonna go. Was this not a nickname?
Nope.
Okay, I'm doing it again. I'm asking questions. Let me
Yeah,
stop
you
doing
do
that.
that. All right, folks. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for joining our circle. I hope you
Until
enjoyed
next
this little.
time.
Hope you enjoyed this. What was it? TED Talk? Yes. TED Talk.
Our ghetto TED Talk.
Ghetto Tech Talk. Yes. Well, until next time, folks. Bye.
Bye.